have been incredible. Cross-country teams from our league and others have been doing great this week. I'm Andrew Emmons, the co-host of SC at CS, and my other co-host, Mr. Villeneuve.
How's it going?
Starting off this week, cross-country runners took the top 3 spots in the boys cross-country match. The Red Hawks edged Cicero North Syracuse 26-30 on Wednesday. AJ Beers, Ian Spira, and Sean Kuhn took the top 3 spots for Central Square, while CNS took 6 of the next 7 spots, and we still held on to win.
That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. Yeah, because Central Square, from what I've heard, is not generally a powerhouse in cross country, but that's a huge win over CNS. That's awesome for those guys.
It is, and they even Coach McGuan even said that the trio of Beer, Sean, and Ian have struck together in practice, and they've held on, and they've really made a good thing for themselves. And they said any given day that they can win, but that kind of game, it was a non-league match. They don't often win against CNS, but it was a good win for them to actually go ahead and do it. So.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because I got here early this morning, about 7:15. As I'm walking in the hallway, I see Mrs. DeVivo, and she came up and she goes, "Do you have AJ today?" And I said, "No, I had him yesterday." She goes, "He took first place in the cross country meet." And I said, "Oh, that's awesome." And I go, how was he motivated, or how did that happen? She goes, "I guess the last time he got beat by a sophomore." I'm not making fun of AJ, I'm just telling you what your mom told me, so don't be mad at me. So I guess he had a good kick at the end and held on for the top spot.
Yeah, it was a really good win for them, and I'm proud of them. You know, Ian's one of my good friends, and AJ's a good friend too, and you know, it's good for them. And I know Sean's not he's not a senior like AJ and Ian, so it's good for him to get up there.
Absolutely.
And do things like that. Girls cross country yesterday, they lost to CNS in a sad one, 38-23. But making it a huge loss, making it not so big, you know, was
Right.
Megan Holsworth, coming in first place with a time of 20:34, almost a minute ahead of CNS's second placer. It was really, really good for
So
her.
let me figure that out. Cross country, it's 3.1 miles, 5K,
Yep.
right? So if you 20 minutes divided by 3, that's like 6.5 minute mile.
Yeah, that's.
Dude, I don't even drive that fast. I'm impressed.
That's extremely good, and for her to do that and have a person that far behind her, you know, for CNS too. And I mean, they did have the next few, but Allison Davis came in at 4th place, and Michaela Baker came in at 10th for Central Square. So
A full minute ahead. That's incredible.
Yeah, it
That's
really
absolutely incredible.
it really is.
Awesome
And,
job, girls.
Yeah, very good. The boys volleyball, they lost 3-1 in 4 sets yesterday. Joe Johnson had 21 assists. That's pretty good, you know. And the other team, I think CNS had 23. The top assist, I think, was 23. So that's pretty good for
21 assists. That's a lot of dimes.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot, and that's pretty good. Even though you lost, you know, and it's been hard for them, you know, since that injury the other day. We talked about Ronnie Reynolds getting hurt and everything.
How's he doing, by the way?
I have not heard too much. I know he came home. I know he was home and everything, but I don't think he's back at school yet.
That'll be a follow-up story. We'll keep you updated on.
Yeah, maybe we'll go to his house and do an interview.
Hey, you never know.
You never know.
Big things with this.
Yeah, it's gonna be something. The boys soccer team lost to Henniger yesterday 3-0. Even though they lost, Alex Marino had 7 saves on the day, so that's pretty good still.
Position I could never play in soccer is goalie because I wouldn't want that ball coming at me because I'm not coordinated enough to go side to side and make a save. That's 7 saves. Impressive. Very impressive.
It's very good. And I know he had, even though he had 3 on it that came in, you know, still 7 of them that didn't. That's a big thing. So
Absolutely.
it's good for them. There are some pretty good games tonight. Girls volleyball game tonight at Liverpool, or here at 6 o'clock. Liverpool's playing them at home. Come and visit them. I know Desdi Pleasure, she put something on Facebook. I saw it earlier. That's what I put it on here. She said she wants people to come. She put it on the flock thing for
Absolutely. Flock. You got to support everybody, not just one thing. The flock supports everything. We're making a difference in everything we do.
There you go.
All right.
I know. I think there was some there last night at the volleyball game, so
That's
I'm
good.
pretty sure. Girls soccer plays tonight at 6 at home against Liverpool.
All right.
So that's something that you guys can go and do.
Now, where are their home games played?
The girls soccer?
Yes.
It's over, I'm pretty sure, over, you know where Miller Hawk is?
Yep.
In the back of that, there's a soccer field there.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's played there. That's where I've seen it before. It's right behind the tennis court. So
Gotcha.
I'm
Just for
pretty sure.
those that don't know where they might play.
Yeah. Girls tennis plays Fayetteville Manlius, which that'll be a tough one. You know,
Yep.
they played West Jenny last night, lost 6-1, really hard. Some injuries that were, you know, happened and it was hard to do. So it's a hard loss, but they're doing really good this year. You know, I think they're 4-1, maybe 4-2, so they're not doing too bad. They have FM at 3:30 today. Girls soccer again, they play. Golf tomorrow. We have a match tonight actually against Beeville, and then tomorrow we play Syracuse at home, so that'll be good too. You want to talk about the football game?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
Central Square versus West Jenny this week.
Maybe game.
It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a high-powered offenses going against. I think it's going to be fantastic. That game is at approximately 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock tomorrow night.
So, my prediction, and I'm going to give my prediction. Central Square is going to win. All right. I think West Jenny is going through a bit of a rebuilding year. We all know that they're fantastic at lacrosse. That's mainly their focus. And on the football side, I think they have a bit of a rebuilding year, and I think Central Square can take advantage of that as long as they stay disciplined and do what they need to do.
I agree.
Yeah, so that's my prediction on that one.
I agree. It's staying in high school football. Here's a look ahead at the top 10 football teams for week 3 that they have. Syracuse Sports, they picked their top 10, and we kind of want to do our little pick to figure out who we think we wish we had posters.
I know, but we don't.
But we don't. So it looks like Baldwinsville's Kendrick Sparks and his fellow Bees will need to score more than 10 points this week to stay undefeated, they think. So.
Yeah, because last week they played against Henniker, and
Yeah.
it was a really, really, really tight game. But they definitely need to look ahead and be sure that they score more points than that. They're playing FM, which traditionally is a very, very strong team.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to get their game together to stay ahead of FM.
Yeah,
So.
FM's always a hard one to do, anything to do.
Yeah.
Large school top 10, CBA, 2-0 right now. They're at CNS tomorrow at 7 p.m. CNS is 0-2. But CBAs, they're doing good. The North Stars, they're struggling right now,
Absolutely.
with their defense. And it's a big game for new CNS coach Joe Sindoni, who used to help Joe Casamino. Oh yeah, I heard about that at CBA. He was like his assistant.
Yep.
So it's going to be an interesting game. I read about that. So.
Yeah. Coach Sindoni went from CBA, and he was at Skinny Atlas under Tim Green.
Yeah.
He's coming into a program it's been tough for the last couple of years, but I've seen he's made some really, really good strides. Against Beeville, they only lost by a touchdown, which again, Beeville's a powerhouse team.
They are.
Last week, who'd they play? Who went to the game? Liverpool.
Okay.
Yeah, they played Liverpool. And again, it was a tough loss. It came right down to the fourth quarter. So CNS is right there on the cusp. They're on the edge, and a win like this over CBA, this could be something. It could be a huge win. But my prediction, CBA is going to win this one.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. And it'll be hard for the coaches, to go at each other, and it's just like Manning played Manning the other day in NFL. It's kind of like that kind of thing, brotherly kind of thing.
Absolutely.
The Beeville Hornets are playing FM Friday at 7 p.m. FM is, they're doing pretty good so far. Beeville's doing pretty good so far. It's a pretty intense game. It'll probably be. It's at home for Beeville, it looks like. And it's going to be something for the Bees to stop because it's their homecoming game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something you got to kind of try to do more for.
FM is a strong team, always is a strong team, always has a strong team. Beeville, very well disciplined. Coach San Filippo, he's been around since I played. So,
Yeah.
he knows the ins and outs of football. That's going to be a very well-coached game, and it's going to be fun to watch.
It is, and that's why they said that they'll have to score more than 10 points because if they don't, that's going to be just like last week. It was a 3-point game to win it against Henniker for Beeville, so it'll be something hard that it's going to be more intense than the Henniker, I think,
Yep.
and a little more enduring. So,
And my prediction on that is going to be FM. I think. I think FM's going to pull it out. I think this is where Beeville might take a turn, and I think their defense might just get outplayed a little bit. But we'll see.
I think FM's a higher scoring game than Beeville plays. I think they're more of a fast-paced more than Beeville, so they don't get as much, just like it showed in Henniker. So I think you're right on that.
FM has a huge air attack. They like to go to the air a lot. So.
Yeah. Looks like Corcoran and Henniker, two Syracuse teams, that should be good. Corcoran's 2-0 right now. Henniker's 1-1. They lost to Beeville last week. Low scoring, two city teams, low scoring game probably. The Black Knights have given up just 10 points in 2 games, and the Cougars have allowed 12 points in 2 wins. So,
Yeah, this one's a tough one to predict because you get 2 city teams. It's like Central Square CNS. It's the proximity of the games, and they're so close that it doesn't matter the records. It matters. We're going to go out. and We're going to win this.
Try to do their best.
Yeah. So, man, this is a tough one to call. I almost want to go with Corcoran because they're 2-0, but Henniker.
I'm gonna pick Henniker. Yeah.
Where are they? Are they at home?
Henniker's
At
Henniker.
I'm going with Henniker. I'm going with the home team.
Henniker. I think it is. I think they actually can do something. I think last week was it was a nail biter, but it was something that smacked them in the face almost, and kind of like that. But it kind of showed them they're going to actually have to step up their game if they're going to actually try to beat more and more. So
I think the 12th person is going to make a huge difference. I want to
Yeah.
say the 12th man because that's not politically correct.
Yeah.
The 12th person is going to make the difference in this one. So I think Henniker's going to take it being the home team.
Yeah, I agree.
So
West Jenny versus Central Square again.
Again, that's going to be a good one. But again, my prediction: Central Square. I think Central Square is going to bring it together this week. They're going to put some hats on people. They're going to make some good sticks.
Yeah.
I think they have a lot of potential to win this game. They just have to believe in themselves.
Yeah,
and that's what it is.
And they say it might be a trap game, in a way. So, I mean, even though Central Square is 0-2 and, West Jenny's 1-1, it's still going to be something you can watch. And it's not going to be I'm hoping it's not going to be a low-scoring game. I mean, Central Square, even though they've had their, this and that with scoring, I think it might be an actual, not low, but middle to high-scoring game.
Third game of the year, the spread offense might actually click.
Yep.
We've gotten out the bugs and the things like that. I think the spread offense might actually click, and they're going to do some things. And we know up front on defense, we have a very large defensive front.
Yeah, we do.
And they can stop the run. The only thing is I don't know how West Jenny is usually as a pass team. Generally, they're not a big pass team. They like to run up the middle into the outsides. But again, we'll see. But my prediction is Central Square is going to pull this one out.
Okay, hopefully, yeah. Hopefully it's not hopefully all the nervous stuff is gone. Hopefully they're more confident in trying to do their best.
And it's a home game for Central Square.
It is.
The Flock.
Yeah.
Flock can make the difference if you decide to go and watch the game.
Yeah, it should be good. Yeah, it is Central Square, so that should be good. 2-0 versus 0-2, Indian River at Whitesboro at 7 p.m. It's going to be another trap game.
My prediction on this one is probably not. Indian River's probably going to run away with it.
Yeah.
And the only reason is Indian River has a strong football following. Even in their Pop Warner, it's crazy because I saw their Pop Warner team last week.
Did your son play him?
No. It was the upper levels,
Okay.
the junior midgets. But they came in. They're a big team. They're a fast team. They are well coached from Pop Warner all the way up to the high school level. I mean, Indian River is one of those teams that makes noise at the end of the season in the sectional playoffs and things like that.
Yeah.
My prediction is going to be Indian River, and I think they might run away with it. Yeah.
I think so. All right. Carthage at Oswego, another 2-0 versus 0-2 kind of thing, 6:30. The Comets had a big win over Whitesboro last week. Yeah, I did hear about that, and that should be interesting for them to do.
Another one, you call them a trap game. This could be the trap game. Carthage is on that really big win.
Yeah.
They might let off the gas a little bit and say, we're playing Oswego, who's traditionally not a very strong team.
Yep.
But you know what? They're going to come out and they're probably going to smack them in the mouth, and Carthage isn't going to be ready, and they could get on top of them quick and probably beat Carthage if Carthage is not paying attention to what they're doing.
If they're not, and I think Carthage is going to look at them as like a really big underdog, and they're not going to go at them as hard as they think they should.
Yep.
And I think Oswego might surprise them and actually throw something back in their face.
Yep, I agree. Completely agree.
That should be something to watch. ESM plays Fowler tomorrow at 5, a 1-1 versus 0-2. Two tough losses, so it's going to be it's something that the Spartans are trying to get, and I don't know. I haven't heard too much about. I know at ESM they had a good game once, but I don't know. I think ESM should win.
Again, another ESM traditionally a strong team, high-powered through the air offense, and from what I know about Fowler, they might struggle in the defensive area. But again, you never know. The tough thing about Fowler is they don't really have home field that they have to play on.
Yeah.
Yes, it says at Fowler, but it's usually at Corcoran or something like that. So it's really tough for them to get the home fans to come out. I don't know. I think ESM is going to get this one.
Yeah, it could, and I think something with them is if ESM tries to do something more than what they're used to doing, they might actually have a chance of putting another win on their turn.
Yep.
So that should be interesting. Hopefully ESM will get it, and Fowler will go 0-3, so that might not be good, but it happens. Liverpool-Auburn, that should be a good game. That should be the best game of the week.
To me, this is game of the week.
Game of the
week right here. Liverpool versus Auburn. They're both 1-1. Liverpool's coming off a win against CNS.
Yep, they lost to Henniger, and that was their big thing. So.
Yeah, so this is gonna be really a tell-all game. This is almost kind of a moving day for football, if you will.
Yeah,
just
and
like,
they defeated us last week, so
Yep.
I mean it's.
Yeah, just like in golf, you have the moving day. This is a moving day for football. Your records start to go to possibly 2-1, or you're going to be on the 1-2, the 0-3. So I mean, this weekend is a big weekend in football, and I think this right here is the game of the week.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
That's our prediction for the large schools. I mean, I think that's going to be it. So I think Liverpool's going to.
If you have other predictions, please feel free to tweet us.
That's our new Twitter account, if you guys can't see it, at CS Sports Center. So if you guys want to, I know we already have, how many did you say, 20-ish almost?
Yeah, about 20 followers right now. So
that's in. I just started it last night, so hopefully we'll get something going with that.
please tweet in your predictions to us, and we'll try to get them out there.
If you have some other topic, if we're not covering, you guys want to hear about it, some school in particular, you see some highlight that you want to hear about, tell us and we'll talk about it. Moving on to NFL, I don't know if you heard about it, but Trent Richardson, he dealt to the Colts.
That's good for the Colts.
I think it is, but I think it was a good thing on the Browns' end.
You think so?
I think I do. And he was, it was a big thing for Cleveland's future. He might have been, but it was something that the Colts can take advantage of. And I mean, it was his choice, but I think Colts are going to be a good fit for him.
I think it's going to ease the pressure on
Yep.
Andrew Luck.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
He needs something to help him.
I agree. Yes, I think they still have Brown back there.
Yep.
I'm not sure if they still have Damian Carter from SU back there.
I haven't seen him. That's all I know. I
So,
don't
I
know
mean,
if they still have him, but I haven't seen him.
Exactly. We're not really sure who's in the backfield for the Colts.
Yeah.
But now you know that Trent Richardson is going to be in the backfield for the Colts, and I think that's just going to take a lot of pressure off Andrew Luck to
And
move forward.
The only disappointing thing about the Browns, what they're going to have to do after now that he's gone in 2014 in the draft and everything, they're going to have to try to get a quarterback. They're going to need someone that's actually going to be able to do something.
Who is their quarterback right now?
Right now, the Browns is
Must not be very good.
I don't even know, so he can't be
No,
good.
that's.
It's a team you don't hear about too much.
Right.
It's one of those things. Trent Richardson's the only one I ever hear about, really.
Yep.
I mean, he's a good player. He's not bad. He's decent. So I think that's the only thing that we actually hear about. But just like a reporter from ESPN says, the Browns showed courage and vision by trading Trent Richardson, who wasn't taking them anywhere. So maybe he wasn't taking them anywhere, but the Browns aren't very good anyway, in my
Right.
opinion. So they're kind of at the bottom of the totem pole. So I think him going to the Colts, even though it was a good thing for the Browns to do maybe on their end,
Mhm.
I think it's a good thing for the Colts to have as well.
I-
Because he has a better thing to work with.
I agree. I think they put too much pressure on Richardson, saying, "All right, here's the Cleveland Browns, carry them."
Yeah.
You can't do that to one guy. I mean, you have to be able to spread the ball around. You have to be able to pass. You have to be able to run. So,
I agree.
and I think the Browns are struggling.
Yeah, I agree. And it's something that they can produce more because the offensive line is pretty strong for Colts compared to Browns.
Absolutely.
So if they can actually do something, it'll actually do more. Robert Griffin III has not been doing good lately. I mean, the other day his knee brace came off. Actually, he had to stop and put another one on. But he has not been anything great, and you know how he always likes to run and everything. He says he can run more.
Again, it's that whole injury mindset. Once you
Yeah.
get that injury, it's in your brain saying, you know what, I hurt my knee. I have the potential of hurting it again. Should I do more? Should I do less? What should I do?
Yeah.
And I think these first couple of games, he's been getting a feel for
Yeah.
his knee. So, I don't know, he feels 100%. And if this is the case, if he decides to run more, again, he's going to open up that offense, and it's going to be just like it was last year.
Yeah, and he's ran 9 times in the first 2 games in the read option. You know, he's done it, and he wants to do more than that. I mean, yeah, he can. I mean, his surgery was back in January. You
Mhm.
know, so I mean, he should be pretty healed up since then. But I'm just afraid one big blow, you know, and something bad's gonna happen. So I mean, it's good for him to say that. Whether it's gonna go somewhere, I don't know. But it's one thing you can watch out for and see. Maybe he'll get more fantasy.
Healed physically, but not healed mentally.
Yeah, mentally, yeah.
It scars you for a little while.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Manti Te'o, he returned to practice with the Chargers. Did you hear about that? Yeah, he was their second round pick out of Notre Dame and wasn't all the way back, but returned with his representative in progress. He practiced Wednesday for the first time after injuring his right foot in August. So back when the preseason he injured, and I remember hearing about it. And it was a big thing because he was a big thing, you know, all the stuff that happened. And it was huge.
He was huge, yeah.
Yeah, and something happened actually. I read about it. Anderson from NBA player Anderson from the Heat, I believe. Maybe?
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Chris Anderson?
Yeah, I think
Yep.
so. Yeah, I think something, I read about it. I didn't read a lot. I just saw it quickly. They said something like Manti Te'o's his scandal or whatever thing going on. I guess that happened and kind of happened to Anderson now too. I don't know. I have to read more on it, but I heard about that.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
it
crazy
is.
what people do.
It is. So they're not certain if he's ready for Sunday, but they said he's back in practice. So you know,
It's good for him.
it is.
I mean, it'll wear on his mental state. Now
Now we got to see if he can actually put it into the game and see if he can do something with it.
Oh yeah. He was a good linebacker. He was a great linebacker
Yeah.
in college. I mean, there's no doubts about it. And the only reason he fell to the second round is because of all the personal issues that he had to go
Yeah.
through. You know, people aren't sure, should we take him, should we not take him? But what you can't take away from him is his ability to play football.
Yeah.
So he's a good football player. So we'll see what he can produce on the field.
Yeah, I know, and I know his players wanted the teammates. They said that they're happy to see him back out in the field, so it's something that they can look forward to too.
Yeah.
Jerry Sandusky seeking a new trial. Actually, I heard about that. Even though I don't want to talk about it.
Hey, but
It's
you know,
something sports related.
It's newsworthy. It's out there. And
Yeah.
Everyone knows about Penn State. I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunately, the things that happen in this world are not good. But yes, it is news. So
It
let's
is.
talk about the 6-year-old guy.
Well, Jerry Sandusky's lawyer faced skeptical questioning Tuesday from 3 judges on the Pennsylvania Appeals Court over his client's request that order a new trial in his child sexual abuse case. So they want to do it again, I guess. So I mean, whether it goes any further, I think most of us are. I mean, he's serving a 30 to 60 state prison, sentence. So he's 69. What I mean.
What bothers me about this whole thing is it keeps rehashing it for the families that have to go through all this.
It all. And hear about it brings out the bad memories.
And
Yep.
they just keep rehashing it, and they go through this whole appeal process and new trial and stuff like that.
Yep.
It is what it is. He's in jail. He's not getting out. I mean, let's look at it.
Yeah, not anymore. No,
Yeah.
there's no chance for him to get out. I think he's 69. If he's serving a 30 to 60 year sentence, I mean, it's that's his life.
Yes.
Basically.
Basically a life sentence.
I know he's not that healthy anyway, in the own sense, but he still, I know it's not going to be anything. So whether he goes back to trial and he gets, maybe he'll get more, maybe he'll get less, it doesn't matter. He's still going. It's going to happen. So.
Yeah. I feel bad for the families having to
I
rehash
do.
this over.
I
and
agree
over
with you.
again.
Yeah, I do. I feel bad for him. This was something I saw. I want to talk a little about. Texas A&M raises $740 million. It's their biggest contribution they've had in a long time for everything, and they announced their plans for a $450 million renovation to Kyle Field. The stadium's capacity will grow to 102,500 when the project is complete in 2015.
102,000
crazy
people
for a-
at a football game.
That is unbelievable.
You can go to any pro game, and yes, pro stadiums aren't that big. We could start talking about whether or not college athletes should be paid and all this kind of stuff. But
Yeah,
you know
that
what?
would get into a huge thing. We'd be talking about that forever.
I know, and the thing is they're spending 400 and how much? 410.
450.
$450 million on a new stadium. We're talking at the collegiate level.
Yep.
$450 million. And then 102,000 capacity. Most NFL games are, 60, 70,000 unless you go
Maybe, yeah.
unless you
Unless
go
you
to
go up.
Dallas or
Yeah.
something like that where the new stadium is. But it absolutely boggles my mind. There was a game, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? The capacity was 150,000 people were at the game. Can you imagine 150,000 screaming fans?
That's in a college stadium. I mean,
In a college
the
setting.
high school stadiums in Dallas, they even have, they hold thousands and even some
Yes.
of them. They go all around. It's incredible that they do that. I mean, ours is nowhere near that
Yeah.
for our high school, not even let alone our college. I mean, our college is big, it's not that bad, but that's just insane. And putting that much money in, it says that the university raised more than $740 million in donations in this past fiscal year. The school announced it on Tuesday. The total documented between September 1st, 2012 and August 31st, 2013. It is a school record and more than $300 million better than the previous 12 months. So I mean, that's incredible.
So they raised $740 million in donations. $450 million are going to a stadium.
Yeah.
Why don't they look at that? Why don't they prioritize that and maybe put $300 million in an endowment fund where we can give to students so they don't have to have such high student debt when they come out?
A scholarship kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I get you want a field and football brings in revenue. I understand that.
Yeah.
But I think our priority is a little bit askew right now.
It is. I agree with that.
So-
And then that's a lot of money. I mean, you think about that. That's just incredible.
That's
It's
NFL money
ridiculous.
right there.
It is NFL money,
That's
not
NFL.
college. I mean, yes, colleges should have a lot of people. Whether that many people actually show up to a game, that many at once, I mean, I'm sure the first thing they're going to do is try to get people to come in and watch all the games, but that's going to be an incredible amount of people to be in a college stadium.
They'll have more than that there.
Yeah.
My prediction, because again, you're talking Texas.
Yeah.
Texas is football.
Mhm.
You're born, you eat, you go to school, you play football. That's what you do in Texas.
Yeah.
So I mean, and it's crazy. But again, this is NFL money in the collegiate level, and I think, as I said, I think our priorities are a little askew.
A little scattered there.
But-
A little scattered. But Texas A&M they are reputation really precedes them. So
Absolutely.
so
Anything in Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. So they
everything
say.
is. That is true.
I did see one time on Diner Drive-Ins and Dives, there's a place down there that has a 72-ounce steak, and I want to try eating it sometime because everything's bigger in Texas. A little off topic, but hey, what do you know? It's our show.
72-ounce steak.
72 ounces.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
So if you that's a 6-pound steak.
That's unbelievable.
Wait, 12 ounces? No, 6, 16. We'll get it figured out. It's a lot of meat.
Yeah, 12 and 6, 72. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so that's a lot. That's a lot to put in you. You better not eat for days. That's ridiculous.
Hey, what was his name? Adam. Adam Richmond did it.
Really?
Yeah. Guy Fieri couldn't.
Maybe we should see if John will come down with you, John Cena, and see if he'll come down and do it with you.
Nah, he's not a big eater like that.
He's big though.
He's big, but he's not a big eater. Like
Yeah.
What do we got? NASCAR.
NASCAR, I want to go a little quick thing on this because the chase has started, and everything. And I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan, but Matt Kenseth won the other day in the Sprint Cup, so that was
That was pretty good. He's up there with 2,063 points. I mean, Dale Earnhardt Jr. came in 13th, I believe. Kyle Busch close behind him in second. Jimmy Johnson third. So I mean, it was all up there. Jeff Gordon. Oh, I don't like Jeff Gordon.
Well, hey, you don't have to like everybody. Not
Just
everybody likes
Jeff
you.
Gordon. Oh yeah, you like him. But yeah.
They what I heard too as I was watching ESPN is that I think they've instituted a new rule
Mhm.
that you have to go as hard as you possibly can until the end of the race. There's no more like bumping and
Central Square Probs. Go ahead.
it's all right. So you have to go as hard as you possibly can. You can't like slingshot and all this kind of stuff. But they've instituted a new rule and said immediately that this new rule is that you have to drive basically as hard as you can to win
Yeah.
the race.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they're going to enforce that. It's going to be
I mean, if it's kind of gonna be like golf, the whole camera view and everything. So everything's gonna be under a microscope now. That's a crazy rule.
I know.
That's gonna be hard. They might not, they might be instituting it, and they might not be as liberal with it now. But starting next season, they probably will. A quick Sports Nation question for everyone: NASCAR has added Jeff Gordon to the chase for the Sprint Cup, apparently, but did not remove any drivers from the field. Do you approve of this? Let us know. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on that. If you're a NASCAR fan, tweet us and let us know what you think about that.
Hashtag Sports Nation.
Sports. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, that's about that for that. NFL power rankings moved in the NFL this week.
Uh-oh.
Not going to talk too much about the games, but the power rankings are in this week. And again, Seahawks at number 1.
As they should be.
As they should.
That's-
I agree.
My prediction, they're going to win the Super Bowl. Just my prediction.
I agree. They've allowed a league low of 10 points, this season. They led off since, again, Cam Newton, Colin Kaepernick, they destroyed the other day with that world record they had stadium I told you about. They're hosting the Jaguars this Sunday. That's gonna be ugly.
Yeah, I agree. It's not.
It's gonna be at Seahawks Stadium, so it's gonna be crazy, with fans and everything. But the Jaguars are not a team that's gonna be able to stand tall with them.
Another bold prediction from me: Seahawks are going to go undefeated at home, just because of the crowd.
Think so?
Yep, I absolutely believe that they're going to go undefeated at home, just because no other team can
It's
even
like that,
figure
yeah.
that out.
Yeah, I agree. You hear, I remember hearing when I watch Patriots games or when I watch any other game, they're loud.
Mhm.
But when I turned the TV on to watch that game the other day, I had to turn the volume down. It was so loud. The commentators were having trouble, and they even said, the world record, when they announced it, they were even louder.
Mhm.
It's insane. I don't know how they measure that, but
Decibels and all
I
that.
guess, yeah.
And here's the thing: you can practice, and at NFL practices, they flood the noise in.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't. I mean, you can't duplicate what happens at the Seahawks Stadium. So prediction: winning the Super Bowl, and they're going undefeated at home because the other teams just can't
Yeah,
handle it.
I agree. Broncos at number 2 this week. Last week they were number 3, so they moved up. It's something with them. I'm just controversial on that. I mean, they're a good team. We said that last year too. We said that with Peyton Manning. They said, "Oh, he's coming back. He's going to win the Super Bowl." Blah blah blah. He didn't. He didn't do that. And I think it's in their head, and they're doing what they did last year. They're scoring a lot of points.
Mhm.
They're starting great off. Plus 40 point differential in the tops league. They convinced wins against the Ravens. They played the Giants. The Giants, they just smothered them the other day. But I mean, they're being very scary, and they're playing the Raiders. So it's another one of those Seahawks, Jags, and then you got the Broncos, Raiders.
And the win against the Ravens, I'm not going to call it. The Ravens, after the Super Bowl last year, they were dismantled.
They were. Yeah, I agree with that. They were. Yeah, I think they're overconfident when they started, because I was watching them in preseason, and I remember seeing that, and I remember some people saying that. Some of the, I forget what his name is, Al, commentator, whatever his last name is, Al, he does football. I remember he said he went to some of them, the practice, watching them play and everything. He said that he thinks they're overconfident. He thinks they're trying to push too much, and he thinks they're just letting everything go, and they're not playing as well as they did last year. Now that they have the ring again, they're kind of like all yippee, but I don't think they're going to do as well this year. The Ravens definitely. So, 49ers, number 3.
Not sold on it.
I cannot believe. That's like why is this happening? I can see like the 2-0 teams being up there, but I don't understand. Colin Kaepernick was 4 of 9 with 2 interceptions.
They got smashed.
Yeah, against Anquan Bolden, and then
Vernon Davis was awful on Sunday.
and
Moving on. I can't. They should not be number 3.
Yeah, I agree. Because Anquan Boldin, his catch didn't come until. Did you hear about that? His first catch didn't come until the fourth quarter.
Right. So
What do you do with that? And I last week they were number one. So I think they're going to keep going down and down and down.
yeah.
You know, the biggest thing that happened this week, the Chargers went up. They had the biggest jump. They're at number 10, and the biggest drop was the Eagles and the Redskins. But I can see that they dropped 5.
Yeah.
But I can see that they really didn't have the best games. Michael Vick, he had a good game. He didn't have a bad game, but still in that sense. Texans, they're kind of like the unsold team this year. They're not really talked about too much, I don't think. You
Yeah.
know,
They got a great running back in Ben Tate though.
they do. He picked up the pace. He had his 6th career 100-yard game, so
Yeah.
that's pretty good for him. And Arian Foster, you know, they got him, and they got your favorite J.J. Watt. You love
He's
him.
the man.
But you know, they said that last year. I'm thinking maybe they'll go far this year, but not. I mean, they are 2-0. I haven't looked at their schedule, but hopefully, you know, we'll see them go farther. They were 6 last week, so. Packers, you know, they're gonna be up there. You
Yeah,
know,
always.
You can't really, and they're 1-1. You can't really do anything. Falcons. Here's my thing with the Falcons. I don't know if I said this the other day. I just don't think the Falcons are gonna do much this year. Okay, I honestly don't. Yes, Julio Jones was crazy the other day on Sunday, and yes, they are 1-1. They were 4 last week. They're 2 this week, or they were last week. They dropped to number 6. I still don't think that they're gonna do much.
Matt Ryan's hot cold.
He is.
He's you know, when he's hot, he's really, really hot. And when he's cold, he's frigid.
Ice. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's ice. Yeah.
So it will all go by him, and his consistency level isn't
it's
always
not high.
high.
Up there. Yeah, I agree with that, and I just don't see them doing too much. You know.
Yeah.
Before we go to the next one, number 7, lucky number 7 is my favorite number actually. And whether that's redundant or not, but that's what my Patriots are number 7. But before I go there, all the way down at number 30,
Yep.
Buccaneers.
Yeah, they're pretty awful.
They moved down 2 spots.
Yep, they're pretty
From
awful.
28.
Yep.
Jaguars all the way down to 32. Browns at 31. So that's kind of the thing they were saying.
At least
was
they're not at the bottom.
Yeah, you
Spoken like a true fan.
surpassed them. The Raiders beat you.
I don't know.
The Jets beat you.
Well, they all have one. They have one.
They have 1-1. Yeah. Hope. And unfortunately, the Bucs are going to be 0-3 by the end of this week. You know, hopefully the Jags and Browns will too. So then you guys can kind of stay in there. But
Have you heard the new Knock Knock show?
no.
Knock Knock.
Who's there?
Owen.
Oh,
0-2, like
no.
Bucks. It's terrible.
That's awesome. I
Oh,
love
it's
that.
terrible.
I'm gonna keep saying it.
Use it on Giants fans though. It's hysterical.
Oh, that's a good idea. That
hysterical on the Giants fans.
Giants are only like they're at 20. Yikes! That's 10 turnovers, 7 interceptions, both lead the league.
And they're at 20.
They're-
Oh gosh, whatever. That's fine.
They had Carolina, you know, in the battle. That's gonna be a disappointment, and it's sad when you lead the league in turnovers and interceptions. You know, you lead it, but it's not something good. You know, and
But you're still in the middle of the power rankings. How does that work?
you are, but
Who does these power rankings?
You're only beating the 0-2 Steelers, the Bills, Panthers, Jets, Redskins, Vikings, Titans, you know, Cardinals. I mean,
Steelers, pull out those terrible dolls because
Oh
they're
my
awful.
God.
They are terrible right
Let's
now.
talk about them. 25 for the power ranking.
They're terrible.
Yeah, I can't even say anything. They're terrible. Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger is just.
A burger, like I said the other day.
He is a
really
bird.
is.
He's just not producing like he produced. I don't know. I don't know if Tomlin has still got his hands around that team. I don't
think
know.
Roethlisberger's getting weight. Have you seen it?
He's a little bit larger.
He's pudgy. I'll tell you. I'll use that word. I'm not going to be mean, but he's pudgy. He's getting big, and yeah, he's Big Ben, but he's becoming Big Ben. And if he keeps doing that, he's not as quick. I mean, he's slower than Tom Brady, and that's sad. Tom's slow, and Ben's just. I mean, I think Tom's probably one of the slowest, if not the slowest in the league. But Ben is. He's not quick. He's not quick on his passes, and
Who does he have to pass to right now?
not anyone really good.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
Who's in their backfield?
It is, and it's just like the Patriots are having trouble with that, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, that can be a factor, but they're not doing.
No, they're not. And I'm just wondering. I'm looking up. Who do they have to pass to? Who do they have to run the ball? Who's on their defense? So I mean, yeah, they're not good right now.
Well, they got Palomalu, who I can't even remember. I think he was injured. I don't know if he was back last week or not. I think he's back this week, Troy Palomalu. But you know,
Again, it's tough. I mean, you got
his hair's crazy.
It is
His hair.
Head and Shoulders.
Yeah, I know.
It works for him.
You see Welker's doing the Old Spice commercial now.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't know if you
He's
saw
a
it.
great receiver. I like the team he's on too.
Anyway, I don't know if you saw it, but it was a weird commercial. It was, I don't know. It's not like the other Old Spice commercial. It's kind of different, but it was all right.
I'll just take a gander at it if you will.
I'm sure you will. Patriots, I gotta talk about them. You know I have to. I haven't really said anything about them. So I mean, they're lucky number 7. 7 was on the Powerball last night. I picked that number.
You can't play the
Well,
lottery.
no, I
usually.
had my dad pick it, and then he wrote it down. But and it didn't
I won the
happen.
lottery last night.
Yeah,
Actually.
bull crap.
No, I did.
How much you win?
I won $1 because
A buck?
I didn't play. I won $1 because
Won
I
a
didn't
buck.
play.
That's
Little financial information.
$2
for you
actually,
there.
because it's $2 for
Yeah.
Powerball games.
Don't play the lottery and you'll win $2 every time.
That's fun. Patriots, after catching a 39-yard touchdown pass on his first career target, Aaron Dobson, he had three drops. You know, his team 79 yards last night, not counting yards after the catch. It's sad, but it's kind of like the Steelers in the sense with the receivers.
Is he a receiver, or is he
Dobson,
like a
yes.
slot, or is he's a receiver?
Amendola is the slot because
Okay.
he's taking over Welker's. Remember that?
Yep.
And then
And he's hurt right now too?
yes, he'll be back November. No, that's Vereen. Vereen's November 16th. He's against the Panthers. Amendola, I think he's questionable every week. So I don't know. He's kind of like Gronkowski. Gronkowski
Good
might be
pickup.
Gronkowski might be. Well, yeah, and we all knew that. I saw that coming. I was like, you know, that's gonna be like that. People were getting mad because they picked him for their fantasy. That's not, you know, that
Yeah.
happens, and he's injury prone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, first game he got injured. So
Spelker wasn't.
so who else is 2-0? Saints and Bears.
You know the Bears. I think the Bears are gonna make some noise this year. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I see them. they're
Cutler's
just-
been on. He's been doing good. He's been hot
No.
lately. He has. I'll give him that. He's,
love Bears.
Martellus Bennett, you know, coming from the Giants, you know, I know a lot of people are upset about that, but Jay Cutler's loving it.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Another
he's-
target.
He is. It is another target. It's not just any target. You know, Martellus Bennett was a great receiver for the Giants. It was a hard. I mean, they lost him. I thought that was hard for them, but they just got Brandon Jacobs back, the Giants. So hopefully that'll put something because they said that they're not going to play Wilson that much because they're trying to get Brandon Jacobs back because Wilson's not doing much. You know, David Wilson. So Saints. Jimmy Graham posted on or tied career highs with 10 catches on 16 targets, 179 yards, 7 Sunday. Graham is the only tight end with at least 20 targets. Yeah, Jimmy's Graham. Yeah, you know he always is. He's
good.
always good. He's good. But he's like the only one that I see doing a lot of stuff on the Saints.
Again, they don't have that marquee target on the receiver spot. So I mean, you go with what's working for you. Right now, their tight end is working for them. I mean, 10
That's what
catches,
happened
180
last
yards,
year.
7 touchdowns. Or is that 7? 7 first
7
downs.
first downs on Sunday, 179 yards. Yeah.
That's impressive for a tight end.
Yeah, and it was close between him and Gronkowski last year. If you don't remember them going back and forth, you know, before Gronk was injured. But those two are really, you know, they're close with being good, and hopefully Gronk will get something going. But
And the great thing is Jimmy Graham's still in the league.
You want to just keep making stuff up about the Patriots, don't you?
No, he's still in the league. He's doing a good job.
knock knock.
Ah, that's
Yeah, wanna
funny.
do that again?
Yeah, that's a
funny,
good one.
yeah.
Touche.
Yeah, exactly. So, before we go, I want to remind you guys about C-Square, about our Twitter page for C-Square Sports. It's at CS Sports Center, capital C, capital S in the beginning for Essential Square. And I just want to, you know, I want to give them a little bit of our input on what we want to do. You know, we want to.
Absolutely.
We're trying to get. We're hopefully going to be putting these videos and the sports show in the lunchroom. I don't know if I told you about that too, but hopefully it'll be playing in the lunchroom. We have a channel for the announcements, another channel. Hopefully it'll be played in the lunchroom so you guys can watch. Athletic study hall, you guys can watch. Senior study hall, hopefully. So it'll be on that hopefully daily. Hopefully you guys can watch it. Maybe not daily. Maybe you guys can give us input if you want to see. It's probably going to loop. You know, maybe we can have a few episodes looping. You know, we think maybe we might do a Monday show and a Friday show. Like Monday saying what happened over the weekend, Friday saying what's going to happen during the week or over the weekend. You know, that kind of thing. Or maybe we should have Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Whatever you guys think. They might not specifically be on those days, but you know, we also are thinking about doing some halftime shows for basketball games or football games. We might be doing that, commentating while it's being videotaped. You know, that could be cool. We could be like Mike and Alan, you know, or Chris and Al, and on NFL. So that could be something we're looking into. Maybe you guys can give us a little input on it. Hopefully, maybe we can have flock support too if we
Yeah,
go
we
to
could
games
have.
and stuff.
It would be like college game day. We could have the
Flock
flock
right
behind us going
and
nuts.
we could be talking right in front. That would be great. You know,
we
that-
want your input on
we
this
want to know
show.
what you guys want to do. So if you guys let us know, I wish this was live. You know, this would be.
It would be much
yeah,
better. I
so
wouldn't be
we could-
standing up cheering right now.
It would be great. Unfortunately, we can't do that. Maybe one day we can with the the room. We can actually do that live.
Maybe we could bring whoever's down in senior study hall up here
Yeah,
with us.
maybe we can have actual kids to come in and do little interviews with us, or actual. Hopefully, we'll be able to do at halftime shows, interview some of the players that are playing right now.
Absolutely.
So, that's something we're looking to do.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for tuning into another episode of SCSCS. I got it right
You got
this
it
time.
right.
Yeah. All right. So
Well, they
again-
don't know the other time because it was.
Yeah, it was cut. But
Go ahead.
you'll see it on the bloopers.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you again. I'm your co-host, Mr. Villeneuve, along with,
Andrew Emmons, your other co-host.
and follow us on Twitter.
That one. Thank you, guys.
I got feeling right there.